Hello everybody and welcome back to my YouTube channel, and I'm so excited to be sharing a brand new feature with you today, and that is a space I want to create to interview other women who run small businesses who I either have trained with or I'm friends with or I've connected with in some way, and I just find them to be so inspiring, motivating and empowering and incredible at what they do. And so I want to be able to share that with you and promote them all in the spirit of sisterhood. So let's get started. So if you enjoyed and watched my sisterhood video, then firstly, thank you for watching that. I hope that you really enjoyed the commitments that I created with that deck I created. But also, thank you so much for coming to this, and thank you for watching all of the interviews that I will be sharing with you over the time that I have this channel. For me, sisterhood is very much rooted in supporting and genuinely holding and caring for and encouraging and empowering other women, no matter who they are, no matter where they come from, whatever walk of life that may be. It's really important that we support them in even the smallest of ways. So if you have a sister who is a healer or a therapist or a coach, and perhaps you don't need the services that they offer, or you can't afford the services that they offer, then is there another way that you can support them? Can you promote their work? Can you like what they do? Can you share what they do? Can you tell someone else about it? Can you send someone to them as a referral? That is another way that we can support them, and also just opening up space to talk to them, see how they're doing, see if there's anything we can do to support them. So I'm really excited to be sharing this brand new project with you, which I've been wanting to do for a while, and it was in the back of my mind. And then I was interviewed by Ileana, who's going to be the first person I'm going to be introducing you to. And I just felt so inspired watching her create this space for other women to share their stories and their businesses, that I thought, that's what I'm going to do on my channel. And I'm going to start with Ileana because she's a beautiful soul who is so cool, it's untrue. I love all of her Instagram posts. She always looks amazing, but she also just speaks so much truth and is so powerful in what she does. So I'm really excited to introduce you to her today. So let's begin, and let me introduce you to Ileana from the Intention Institute. Hello everybody, welcome. And as you will see, I have the beautiful Ileana joining me today from the Intention Institute, who I am interviewing and bringing to you because, quite honestly, she's amazing. And we met last year, I think it was around about maybe September time, on Instagram, and we just connected straight away. I just love her energy, I like her ethics and her morals. And back in February, Ileana interviewed me for her podcast, and it really inspired me and made me think that what I'd love to do is interview other business women for my YouTube and for my other projects, because it's just a really nice way to expand in sisterhood, right? You know, it's a good way to connect and to promote and market and kind of share and network. Basically, if you can't afford to see someone for a session, or if you don't need a session, I think having an interview or talking with someone and sharing what they do is a really beautiful way to do that. So thank you for joining us today, Ileana.
Of course. Oh my God, I'm just so happy. I'm already like feeling your energy here. I'm so happy.
Oh, amazing. Well, why don't we just start really simply then? I'll just get you to kind of introduce yourself and just what your business is for everybody watching.
Yes. So I am on Instagram. You can find my title under Success Coach. So basically, I am a professional certified coach, which I got my certification only a few weeks ago from the International Coaching Federation. Thank you. A lot of work, but I'm so happy. So basically what I do is I work with women who want to establish a strong connection to three different pillars. The first one is learn how to do a little bit of shadow work so we can really heal and overcome the limiting belief. The second pillar that I work with is really about abundance, money mindset, creating a sustainable life in terms of money. And the last pillar that I work with is obviously the higher self, the connection with the spirituality, the faith. And through that pillar, we really work on organizing their life, clearing, and living an intentional life, not only tangible, but really intentional. And I love that word since I named my business the Intention Institute. So that's what I do now currently in 2020, because the ride has been amazing. I also got, I'm the head of the French coaching department in an international coaching school, because I truly believe that more coaches equals happier world.
Mm.
So I now train future coaches and in French and English, but I'm the head of the French department. So if any of you want to know a little bit more about how to become a certified coach, let me know.
That's amazing. Oh, so many juicy bits that you just said there. Thank you. I agree with you. I think intention is such a powerful word and such a powerful experience. Like, I really notice when I set intentions, even when I'm meditating or when I'm with a client, it's just so powerful how it comes through. So I agree with you, and I hear you when you're kind of putting that into what you do. And definitely I will put all of Ileana's stuff in the description box below. Connect with her and find out more about what she does, work with her, and maybe even take up coaching. If you've been looking to become a coach, this is the perfect opportunity. So, okay, I really want to get into a little bit more about the amazing services that you offer. And I've already mentioned the podcast. Why don't we just talk about that briefly, Ileana?
Yeah. So yes, I have the Rise with Intention podcast, which is actually under a lot of revision, because I'm switching my intention on that as well. But basically, what I do in there is, like, I create a space to have conversations really around those three pillars that I mentioned in my business. So it can be business related, meaning strategy, money, how to become more abundant in terms of your own energy. But I also talk a lot about the limiting beliefs and the perspectives, and how, some tips for anxiety has been a famous episode. We talk about NLP, we talk about strategies. I mean, it's all about having a space where people can go and feel like somebody's there who's raw and real, because that's really what I want to put as an intention. And honestly, the main message with this is, how can you rise up with your authenticity and see, like, the reality of what it takes to become entrepreneur, to launch your business, to live out of your passion, and just have an intentional life overall. Again,
I love it. Yeah, I've listened to a couple of episodes and I just love your voice, firstly. You have such a silky voice that is actually really nice. I often listen when I'm cooking, I'm chopping up my vegetables, and I'm just thinking, oh, yes, I love this. And definitely, like, the energy that you bring as well, it's just so loving. And it's, as you say, like, so positive. Like, I definitely feel just so much abundance and joy when I'm spending time with you or I'm listening to you. So, yeah, definitely, I love the podcast. I'm looking forward to it. And I'm excited to hear that you're kind of, reshaping it and putting those intentions around it, because I think that's really important, because as you change, right, so
exactly.
does your projects and your business. So
Exactly.
yeah.
And I love that, because when you're an entrepreneur, when you're independent and you have your idea, your business can grow with you. You're not limited by anything. And I really want that to stay at the center, because we are so used, to have these, like, boxes and how things have to be. And when you become an entrepreneur, you just have so much freedom, and it's so beautiful, because that's what actually keeps you inspired and joyful. So I'm really always trying to evolve, thanks to my clients, thanks to my students now. And I really try to have my business always grow with me, as you mentioned it so beautifully. And I think it's so beautiful that you put that in here, because it's really the theme about, that I'm kind of navigating through right now. So I love that. Thank you.
No, yeah, definitely.
Oh my God.
No, of course. Every time I see your posts on Instagram, I'm like, oh my God, she's done it again. She looks amazing. And what I love is that you've got this really good blend of kind of being quite young and quite fresh and quite energetic, but at the same time what you talk about is just so important. It's timeless in a way, like it's important stuff that we really need to work on all the time. There's never a time when humanity will just be fixed and we'll just be like, everything's perfect. As dreamy as that would be, I just can't imagine that that's going to be what's happening to Earth. So having people who are talking about these things all the time is so important. So I feel like you blend that really nicely, to be honest.
I appreciate you saying that. It makes me think about something that came up before I launched my business. I remember when I was working through my ideal clients and all the strategy and all the masculine energy about business, I really thought about having the word modern somewhere, just because it was so important to me to communicate the fact that I really try to be grounded about the world we live in. I'm really about transparency. And I am, because I struggled so much with authenticity for so long, that now that I'm actually am able to be myself, I really want to give that permission to people. But it means that I have so many different sides of my personality that can shine through my page, And I remember that modern was such an important word, because I'm kind of a technological, I'm kind of a geek, a nerd, I am, I love my phone and all the multimedia and all the gadgets, and things like that. And I absolutely love to be able to grow my business in these times. I'm deeply, deeply grateful for that. So it's fun how you mentioned this.
Oh, well, you're obviously doing it really well.
Thank you.
Okay, so I guess really one thing that I really want to get into is, how did you kind of get into the spiritual life? What woke you up? How did you get from mundane to extraordinary? What was your kind of journey, if you don't mind sharing a bit about that?
Thank you so much for that little word that I heard. Thank you. Extraordinary. That's my jam of 2020, by the way. It's we have to find our own way to be extra. Because we are completely extra. And I just love when I see people out there and I see they're extra, and it's just how I opened myself spiritually. So honestly, I don't think that you can find nowadays someone who says I'm completely close to it, because I really believe it's all in us, because we're just gentle souls. However, because I was close to my own feelings, I wasn't really able to tap into that spirituality as soon as some of my peers or friends, especially in that industry, in the coaching industry. So it took me a while, but I've always been curious. Astrology is I love astrology. I always have. I've always been really, really aware about numerology as well, my numbers, my birth date, the hours, the angel numbers, all of these things have always been part of my life on the background. But really, as a teenager, I struggled with depression, and it brought this energy of panic in my environment. My family was really worried, and you have kind of this dichotomy when you're suffering at this young age, where people are is she faking it, or is it really serious? And you start also dividing your personality in many different bits, because you're trying to fit, you're trying to be am I faking it? Am I just having this teenager crisis? Or am I really suffering here and it's something serious? So I feel at that time, my personality had to fit many different boxes, and spirituality came back when I had a clear intention of bringing back that personality to one. So, depression for me, spiritually speaking, is really when our soul is tired of playing a fake game of personality. And she's just so exhausted that she's we can't do this anymore. It's just too big. It's just too much of a responsibility to deal with this situation for the rest of her life. Yeah. So when I had this intention, it's basically when my soul said, I am done living this life. But it was different than depression. Depression I struggled with when I was a teenager. It lasted maybe till I was 23. Honestly, I don't know if I can honestly say I healed and there was a magic moment where I healed. I just know that the more I worked on myself, the better I felt. And today I can say I'm a totally happy person. I have my lows, but it's so different now. So spirituality came for me when I was done and tired of living the life that I was living, and it actually happened 3 years ago now. I think around that time, where I didn't have a purpose, I wasn't happy, I was in debt, I didn't love my reality, and I didn't even know who I really, really was.
Mm.
And 3 years ago, I don't know what happened. It's like you shift and all the things constant just suddenly completely align. But this time I didn't run away from it. I really faced them, and I opened myself, and I was like, okay, now I want to take back my power. So it's not about I'm my own victim, the victim of my reality, but I really want to step back into that power. It's okay if I'm suffering, but now let me take it back. And when I decided to do that, things they escalated so quickly that it was crazy. Like in 2 months, I healed some limiting beliefs. I found a coach. I found my purpose, which is coaching. I realized that I wanted to become an entrepreneur, and it explained all the rest and why I wasn't fitting to my external world.
Yeah.
Because my education was all about it has to be that way. And entrepreneurship doesn't have like a clear path. It's
No.
never had that.
I wish it
So
did.
yeah, but it was so good and empowering to be like, that's exactly how I want to shine and how I feel that I'm going to be shining the most. And since then, spirituality was just my life. Honestly, like I started reading so much, educating myself so much, and realizing how it was all around me all of this time. And the more I talked about it, the more I found people and connected with people who lifted me up. And I started to realize so many principles about, for example, friendships that would from one day to another break, while other friendships would become extraordinary. And I had like better relationships, better communication, better inspiration, more joy, more happiness. And to this day, I think that it was really, really what saved me.
Yeah. I hear you so much on that.
Mm.
Definitely exactly the same. And I really like what you said about how basically depression is pulling you, like your soul pulling you out of what isn't really suiting you. And it's almost like, I think partly that's why they call it the dark night of the soul from a spiritual perspective, because it is like the soul is just saying, I'm really tired.
Yeah,
I can't do this anymore. I need a break. And then we can move forwards with me in the driver's seat. See you later, ego. Like, obviously, making
exactly.
peace with your ego, but moving into that space. And that was similar to my experience of, thinking and feeling like I had to fit in and be a certain way. But I was miserable. And then actually, when I stepped into who I truly was following depression, wow, that was so different. That was so different. And I'm sure that you feel the same. But for me, I just kind of felt like if I could recreate this for even just one person, then I would have done something to help. I would have done something, meaningful with my life. And yeah, absolutely. You definitely radiate that positive, happy energy because you just are so in touch with your soul, right?
I feel like I am, but I know that I'm just at the beginning of my journey,
Yeah.
honestly. The more, it's so interesting when you have been in that world for a few years now. At the beginning, I was so attracted to some kind of content. Nowadays is completely different.
Mm.
And I can see how my perspective is evolving, but also is like becoming more unique and more, sensitive to a few words. And some words really speak to me so powerfully. And I know there's something there. And I'm just letting it unfold naturally. And I love that. I love how spirituality is really about keeping the fear from like letting it unfold without being stressed or nervous, taking the time to really find what works for you. And that's why I absolutely love it. It's because whatever works for me, whatever I believe, whatever words resonate with me might not be the same for everyone, but I will have stronger connections with people that speak the same language. And I love that because it creates instant bliss and magic. It's amazing. And obviously now I work with spirituality with my clients as well. We're able to mix with coaching, which I absolutely adore. Oh my goodness. And it creates so much power in the coaching sessions. You have really the masculine energy and the feminine energy working in oh my God, so powerful ways. And the results have been incredible. So I'm really, really happy that it's a part of my life.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I think, yeah, that's a really good way to put it as well. Is it's like the coaching creates a kind of container for that feminine spiritual energy to come in and do the healing work, right? You know, whether that's just holding that space and nurturing, or whether that's actively doing some kind of Reiki or something like that. But yeah, definitely it's a beautiful blend of the two. Yeah, I love that. That's great. Oh my God. I'm learning things.
Thank you.
Okay, so if a client was to come to you and they were to book a session with you, let's just discuss kind of what they might be thinking before they come to you, like where they might be in their life, and also what they could expect from a session to you. I know obviously there's several things that you could work with them, with your 3 pillars, but how would they be feeling, and what would be a good time to come and see you and book a session?
So that's I love that question, because I wanted to answer that question for a long time, because my system, obviously everyone is going to say my system is different, but I do personalized programs. I don't believe in one fits all.
Yeah.
So I talk about my pillars because that's who I want to work with, because these are the struggles that I had to overcome. So that's where I have the most expertise. However, every single soul is different. And my coaching expertise is really about telling people the truth, is that I cannot guarantee you will get X, Y, and Z results. I can guarantee you that I will do my best to create a space where you can achieve them. But ultimately, you have to do the work. So, it slows some people, and it really hurts others, So basically, people, when they come to me, they're mostly women, mostly millennial women, and they have like on 2 pillars who are masculine and feminine, kind of harmonized. The first is I'm so scared. That's really I'm so scared. I'm so scared because I have this idea inside of me that I know wants to come out. And they have this project, they have this passion, they have this inspiration, but they have so much anxiety coming from it. They're overwhelmed, and they really feel like if alone they will screw it up. Of course, that's what they think. But that's where they are. It's really like they have these limiting beliefs and this positive, incredible positive energy of drive and fire. So when they come to me, they're like, okay, I'm this is where I am. I'm scared and I have this project, but now I'm ready. So that's like my second thing, is like they are so ready to kick ass. They have so much energy inside of them that's just like this fireball. Yeah, fireball. And they know that it's embracing and embracing and embracing, but the limiting beliefs kind of prevent them from exploring, from really diving into clarity. So they're confused. They don't really know. When you're inspired and you have a project in mind, often the first step is to really take a step back from your life and assessing where you are. What is your situation currently? And how can we create a different reality for you to be in the flow with all of your projects, all of your inspiration, all of your joy? And that's what I do. That's what I really love doing. And they have so much work. And my coaching program, honestly, it's not really a coaching program. It's a mentoring program. So I really give them my all. You will never, like my clients, sometimes they obviously pay me for my value, but sometimes I would spend 3 hours with them. and I don't count. I don't think about
Mm.
that because their drive is my drive and
Yeah.
my drive is their drive. So I work with people who have so much, who have energy, who have will, who have power and inspiration, and obviously everybody has, but they're really ready. So that's where they are when they talk to me, and they are like, often everything ties up to the three pillars. It's like we need some healing, we need some alignment with money mindset, and we need some higher self vibration. And that's often the three pillars that I work with. But the mentorship program depends on where they are. One session is just about how is my energy for you? How is your energy for me? Is it a good fit? And then we clarify. Then we clarify. And then I give them my offer, of course, and I tell them, okay, this is what I have in mind. Does it resonate with you? Take some time, sleep on it. I'm not in a rush. I'm never in a rush with my business. I've never treated anything with so much respect that I treat my business with. So, I really take my time to just be sure it's both energies fit, the masculine energy and the feminine energy, which is such a huge topic for me, especially this year.
Definitely. Yeah, I really love what you're saying there actually about every soul is different, so personalizing things. I think that's really important actually, because one size doesn't fit all, and people will be coming at different points in their journey, and their levels of readiness might be different as well. They might think they're really ready and then get there and think actually they need a bit more healing, or they might be really, really raring to go and just need like one little simple thing to just help. And that's in a way, I suppose, where that feminine aspect comes in, as catering to what they actually need, as opposed to having this very rigid masculine approach, which is, this is what I offer. If it doesn't fit you, tough luck, best of luck with everything else you're doing.
Oh my
I really
God,
think
I
that's
love
important.
that.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. And there's such a powerful dimension also with intuition, because sometimes what people need is just the space to connect to their intuition. So there's no need for a 3 month, there's no need for a 6 month thing. They might need like a 2 session. And I can never tell them in advance, this is how sometimes they exactly know what they want, so it's easier, but most of the time people are lost. I was lost when I started. I was completely overwhelmed. Oh my goodness. But now it's like, okay, I'm going to give you everything that I have. And that also includes my own personal energy for you. Like, the best version of me is going to be the best version of you. It's going to help bring that version of you come up, So yeah, I love my clients. Like, I'm obviously not objective, but they're incredible. They are killing it so much. Like, I love them so much. Like, I could cry. I love them so much. There's just, they have just so much power inside of them, and they're ready. Oh my goodness. Yeah.
I love it. The passion is just, it's so important that you have that enthusiasm, right? Like, that's what's bringing these amazing people to you, is they're just reflecting your excitement and enthusiasm and your commitment. I think that's so important. It's not just a financial commitment, it's actually like an emotional, a mental, a spiritual commitment. When you work with a coach or a healer, it's not just, oh, I've paid for it, whatever. It's, I've paid for it, but I'm ready on every level of my body and every level mentally to completely give to this, because actually it's a lot more of a commitment than I think sometimes we think of, and if you really want to do the work, then, as you say, like, I can give you as much as I possibly can, but if you're not going to implement it, then
exactly
nothing's going to change, so they need to be completely ready on like every level to put into that, which I think is so exciting, to be in that space.
Oh my God, I cannot agree more. Obviously, I think a powerful word that word that really illustrates this idea is really partnership. How my partner in life, my boyfriend, I call him my partner, and these collaborations are all about partnership. How can we partner, really, really partner, to support you, your energy, your goals, your dreams, your mindset, your emotional struggles, but also have this clarity, this structure, this plan, and the tools that you need to move you forward. But it's a partnership. One person cannot do it all. And as a partner, as a partnership, my best brings out their best, but their best brings out my best as well. So it's really about this exchange and harmony energy that I adore. Like I don't know why anyone would do another job.
Yes, I
Like I
agree.
literally don't get it. I'm like, why would you do that? Why? Like become a coach. Like this is wow, you know.
Yeah, oh my God, I agree. I literally can't see myself ever being in any other kind of profession or whatever. I just feel I get so much joy and reward out of being present and witnessing other people kind of changing and growing and healing, because obviously that's really all you are, is just that witness. And I love it. I totally agree. I'm like, why didn't they teach me about this at school? That
I
would have
know.
been amazing.
I know, and it took me so long to get here as well. Like I had like not a not one glimpse of an idea.
Mm,
I didn't have anything that was resembling to a purpose. I was lost and unhappy, and that lack of clarity was making me really, really like I was hurt. I was hurt not knowing what I wanted to do. And I have so much empathy for people who are in that situation because I know the struggle. It really reflects on all the areas of your life. So, if that's you, if you're watching this and that's you, please don't give up. Please, if this even sparkles a small curiosity, reach out, talk,
mm,
connect with people who think the same way, because these are the people who might be like watering your seeds and you don't even know it. That's what happened for me.
mm.
And yeah, I just feel like once you have your purpose, once you are ready, once you're healed, everything goes so fast, literally so fast. 1 year ago, I was still working full-time job that I hated. 1 year ago, like that's
Yeah, it's
how
not.
crazy was that?
Exactly, exactly. And I think that's a beautiful message actually for people to take away from this, is you don't have to stay where you are. You
No.
don't have to feel stuck. You don't have to feel in this space of anxiety and fear and like there's no hope. There's always something that you can do, someone who can help you. That's why all of us in the coaching community and the healing community have trained in this, because we want to be that person who can
Exactly.
hold that space and witness and help you through things. So yeah, that was something for me, when I was depressed, I very much felt to myself, this cannot just be it. Surely I
Yeah.
haven't been through everything that I've been through. Surely I haven't, done all the things that I have done and been and through and everything just for this to be it. Surely my life isn't to be depressed. And that's what really spurred me to get
Mm.
coaching, get healing, get some counseling, because I was just like, there's got to be more. There has to be more to my purpose, to my life. And yeah, there was, as I say, like being in that space, I just realized, wait a minute, this is my purpose. This is where I want to be forever. Like, I love it. I love getting the music going. I love lighting a candle, waving some sage, meditating, and then opening for a session. So yeah, if you are watching this and you do feel like you're in that space, you don't have to be in that, listen to that, empower yourself, and know that you can step forwards and move beyond that and work with Ileana.
Yes, you can.
Okay, well, thank you so much for joining us today, Ileana. It's been such a pleasure to have you here. And I just feel like I've absorbed so many golden nuggets that I'm just going to have to go away and like watch this and absorb it again, because wow. Thank you so much for sharing everything and for being present here today. I really appreciate that so much, and being our first interviewee. And obviously, please do let me know in the comments below if you've enjoyed this, if you'd like to see more interviews, and I will put all of Ileana's details in the description so that you can connect with her, whether that just be because you're fangirling like me and you just want to connect with her on Instagram, or because you'd like to book a session, or you'd like to become a coach, whatever that may be. I will give you everything you need below. So thank you so much for joining us, and thank you, Ileana, and I will see you all in next week's episode.